Welcome back to VisionAir TV. I'm Preston Holland, and I'm here joined by Jonah Santom, the Executive Director of the VisionAir program at Cirrus, to talk about ownership options. Jonah, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, Preston, thank you so much for the opportunity to come out and join you and talk about the program and the offering we have.
Yeah, absolutely. So walk me through what the process is to join the VisionAir program. Is this designed for current owners of aircraft? Is it designed for anybody all over the country? Can you walk us through that?
Yeah, so I think the beauty of our program is there's not a one-size-fits-all when it comes to our customer base. We've been producing airplanes for 30 years. The thing that Cirrus has done so well is we've become a lifestyle brand, and we've built loyalty through our program. So we've got a lot of owner-operators that will purchase the airplane and manage it themselves. But what we're trying to do with our management program and the VisionAir program is we want to break down the barriers to ownership. We want to make it easy, we want to make it hassle-free for them, so we want them to enjoy the asset and the lifestyle that it enables, whether it's for personal or for business use. Let us do all the stuff in the background. So the VisionAir program in specific is our effort to try to get into that non-owner flown market. Right now, a majority of our owners are owner-operators, but the VisionAir program was designed to create this turnkey ownership solution to get more people into aviation. So you can we'll sell you a Vision Jet, and it's a 91 managed airplane, you are the operator. But through our services and our offerings, we're going to create this unique ownership experience, this turnkey ownership experience, by providing the maintenance, the storage, connect you with the insurance brokers, help you with a tax advocate that's going to point you in the right direction from the benefits of ownership.
So essentially what it is it's a turnkey flight department for somebody who doesn't have to actually staff a flight department.
Yeah, in essence, and as we've gone out and we've expanded our footprint from a services capability, we've been producing airplanes out of Duluth, Minnesota for 30 years. We have our delivery center in Knoxville, but McKinney, we opened the doors there in August of 19, doing maintenance, flight training, and the infrastructure of those two things really enabled us to offer this management, this ownership experience.
So that's out of McKinney, Texas?
Yep, McKinney, Texas. But now, that model and what we're doing from a services standpoint, we're going to be expanding our footprint over the next 10 years to hopefully have 10 locations throughout the U.S. To be able to serve those markets. But that's where we are offering the VisionAir program.
So this program is not necessarily geared towards the SR-22T owner who's ready to step up into a Vision Jet. It's more geared to people outside of aviation in a similar way that you guys are trying to bring people outside of aviation onto your piston product.
I would say it's a little bit of both. And the reason why I say that is because obviously to that non-owner, or the non-pilot, excuse me, he's going to need all those services because he doesn't have his PPL, he doesn't have his instrument, he's not a type certified pilot. But what we've also found is that VisionAir is also a convenience package. For a lot of our owners, they're business owners, they're moving, they're shaking. Time is money, convenience is important to them. So there might be times where they want to fly the mission, but the beauty of our program is there's some missions that maybe some of these pilots are not comfortable with, or they want to be able to sit in the back of the airplane, they want to be able to work. So all of our factory direct instructors are dual qualified, and they'll go along in those missions with you. So we get a little bit of both. We'll fly the mission, but we can also allow the person to sit up front, fly the left seat, or that individual can also sit in the back.
So let's break it down. Let's get into a bit of the nitty-gritty. Let's talk about actually walking through this program from a financial standpoint. What's my initial outlay if I'm a prospective owner for you? What am I looking at monthly? What am I looking at from an hourly variable cost of how often I fly the airplane? And what are we talking about maintenance? Am I responsible for it? Is it a part of the membership? How does that work?
So Cirrus, with our Vision Jet, we offer our Jetstream program. That program is kind of all-encompassing. Not only does it include warranty items, but it's also going to include some of those wear and tear, AOG support, all of that we can package together in the sale of that airplane.
And how long does that last?
So that varies. So we've got different packages, different programs based upon both time and hours. And that's kind of what we did with this VisionAir program as well. It's a 1 year, 150 hour, or 1 year, 300 hour program. So we're kind of partnering that up, looking at our Jetstream offering, and that's kind of how we built those hour offerings, is to kind of coincide with that Jetstream program that kind of makes you, it kind of gives you those fixed costs. You understand from an operational standpoint what that looks like. And the way you get into the program is at the purchase of the airplane, you're paying for the program up front. It is that 1 year, 150 hour, 300 hour program.
Can I renew it?
You can.
Okay.
So one of the things that as you're going through, if we're tracking and you bought a 150 hour program, but you seem like you're going to overfly that before the year is up and the contract's up, we can also do kind of an a la carte type of thing. We can sell you by the hour, by the day. We can continue to work through that with you as you get to the end of the contract. And then obviously there's a renewal period as well that we can offer.
So going back to the cost structure, so as the person entering into this program, they actually acquire the asset themselves. So they may have an LLC, or they may have a business that actually acquires the asset. It's not renting from Cirrus, they actually own the physical asset.
Correct,
right?
and that's the big distinction as well. We are strictly 91, so the owner is the operator. What we do is we kind of bring all those things together to make it easy and for them to utilize that asset. So we'll kind of partner them up with the insurance company, we'll provide the pilot services, we'll have the management fees and the programs, but all that's built into that package. And as we work the numbers, just to kind of break it out, with the purchase of the airplane, with the annual operating costs, for the 150 hour program, when we broke it down to a price per hour, it ended up being just under $2,000 an hour, and you own the asset. It's your airplane, you're flying in that same one every day, but it really breaks down, and that's the beauty of the Vision Jet as well.
So you're looking at an upfront acquisition cost, an outlay of money.
Yep.
Can you give us a range of what we're looking at to be able to actually acquire the Vision Jet?
So right now, you're looking at that 3.2 to 3.7 range, depending on how it's equipped. With the G2 Plus and the hot and high, the Wi-Fi system. Obviously, we have the Safe Return, which is an incredible program. The CAP system. So there's two pretty incredible safety features on this airplane.
So you're looking at around, call it $3.5 million as an initial purchase, but you do get to depreciate that asset, correct?
Exactly. So and that's where we make that connection as well. So within that pricing program, we have a tax advocate that we connect them with, so the owner can understand what those benefits are, what the implications are.
So as a part of the VisionAir program, you're actually helping coach them on their tax benefits of aircraft ownership.
And I would even say we take it a step further in terms of coaching. So we've got some customers that they don't want anything to do with the ownership. They want to just show up, the airplane's there, it's clean, the database is up to date, the maintenance is taken care of. They want to hop in and go. And it's a full concierge offering. We'll also not only take care of that flight, but when you land at your destination, we'll coordinate rental car, limo service, hotel. We can even set up dinner for you while you're traveling. So it's an immersive kind of world-class concierge experience. So there's that element of it, but then some people, they want to get into the program, and there is that education piece. We'll let them be as involved as they want to be, and we'll talk to them about what are we doing, why are we doing, why is this important, here's what it means to keep up with the logbooks, because that also empowers them that at the end of that year, if they feel that, hey, I'm in a good spot now, I understand this, I don't necessarily need all of these services, they can then tailor that experience from beyond that first year, because now they're an educated consumer and they're a more knowledgeable aircraft owner.
So we've talked about acquisition price, we've talked about hourly variable cost. Let's talk about what does it cost from a management perspective? Are they paying some sort of monthly fee? Is it by the minute every time I call the flight department to schedule a rental car? What's the fee structure in that? Because I think helping people understand the entire cost of the program will help them be able to decide between this and maybe one-off charter owning their own aircraft.
So with VisionAir particularly, a lot of the cost is up front. So you purchase the airplane, you're paying that annual fee that covers maintenance, it covers pilot services, it covers insurance. Again, we're going to connect you with an insurance broker. It's going to be under your LLC, but we'll make that connection. We'll build all that into the pricing.
So what's the cost of that upfront?
So for the 150 hour, right now we're roughly just under $300,000 annually for the 150 hour.
And when you were talking about just under $2,000 an hour, are you incorporating that the VisionAir price in that hourly
Absolutely.
price?
So
Okay.
that's actually not only the VisionAir price, but that's the financing, that's the ownership as well. So that under $2,000 an hour is with the financing of the aircraft when you break the program out and how it's priced.
How often are you seeing your owners finance an aircraft versus use all cash?
That's a good question. To be honest, Preston, I'm not close enough to it, so I wouldn't be able to answer that for you, but obviously we could get that information for you to provide that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think this is a great option for somebody who's maybe trying to get into private aviation, especially using the Vision Jet, which is, frankly, it's not an ultra heavy long range jet. You're not talking about tens of thousands of dollars an hour. You're talking about regional missions. What type of profile of a business owner fits this program really well? Where are you seeing the most success from a owner's perspective?
Yeah. I think that mission profile, and as you know, for anybody who's purchasing an airplane, when you make that decision, it's based upon that mission profile. So that 200 nautical mile to 1,000 nautical mile range, that's really where the Vision Jet is a great option for you. Obviously, it's capable of doing more than that, but you've just got to understand as you load up the airplane with people, with baggage, you're going to have to probably make a stop. So that 200 nautical mile to 1,000 nautical mile range is that perfect sweet spot. Because you've got single pilot operation, you obviously can do 2 pilots, and then you've got 5 seats in the back for customers, or for passengers, excuse me.
That's super cool. Well, thanks so much, Jonah, for coming on.
Absolutely.
This has been really enlightening to understand. Where can somebody, if they want to inquire about this program, how do they get in contact with you or somebody from your team?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, I kind of lead the program, so I can answer anything directly about that VisionAir program. I can provide, phone numbers, email address, and that. But also, if you go to Cirrus.com, you'll find all of our CirrusAircraft.com. You'll find all of our phone numbers that'll get you directed to the right person to have that conversation.
Awesome, very cool.
Yeah.
One last closing question before we go. What is your favorite aircraft you've ever flown? You can't say the Vision Jet, and you can't say the SR-22. Outside of that, what's your favorite aircraft you've ever flown?
Okay, I'm going to have to, if I can't say Cirrus, it's a unique one. So outside of my passion for general aviation, I also do a lot in the light sport and ultralight category. My father purchased this thing, it's called an air bike. It's a single seat tail wheel with like a 20 horsepower engine on the front, and it's literally a windshield and a seat, and then you're exposed to the rest of it. So it's hard to go and train for that particular airplane because it is only a single seat. So I went out, got my tail wheel endorsement, and then went and flew this thing back. It was, I think it was 100 nautical miles, but it only flew about 40 miles an hour. So it took me 2.5 hours in this airplane, but it was a ton of fun. It was the true experience of flight, being out there, being exposed. So if I can't say Cirrus, I probably would go with the air bike. It was a lot of fun.
I have never seen one of those. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah.
Well, Jonah, thanks so much for coming on. I appreciate it. I think that this has been insightful for us. So
Yeah.
thanks
Thank
again.
you, Preston. Again, thank you for the opportunity. It's a true pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.